Hello everybody and welcome back. It's another game of Battlefleet Gothic. I'm really proud of being allowed to play another one, and today we'd like to do scenario 1. And thanks a lot to Bleachhawk for his feedback. I think we'll try to get everything right today, and I've read the first 30 pages of the 1999 rulebook. Okay, and these are exactly 500 points of Chris Chaos Fleet. I've got 2 Carnage. These are different models, but both of them will be played as Carnage cruisers at 180 points each. And I've got a small squadron consisting of 2 Idolators. They have been replaced. I think we had Infidels last time, and they come at 45 points each. Okay, both forces have been deployed. As you can see, I put one of the cruisers at the edge of my deployment zone each, whereas my squadron of 2 frigates, I think, Idolators, are in the center of my deployment zone. Whereas the Space Marine force over there has got 1 cruiser in the center of the deployment zone next to the first squadron, and the other one at the left edge of Chris' deployment zone, joined by another 2 frigates. Well, I'm not sure if my forces are prepared to deal with them, but let's see. Do we have to roll to see who goes first?
Yes.
Oh. Okay.
We're off to a good start. A 1 versus a 6. So the end of the Space Marines' first turn was not very eventful. After all, the Space Marines only was flying forward, more or less the minimum speed they need to advance. It's a very, very careful advance, to put it that way, because of the long range of the opponent Chaos Fleet's weapons batteries. I'm trying to figure out what Marcus is going to do with his fleet, so just some careful positioning and a first wave of Thunderhawks that had been launched from one of the strike cruisers.
So we're back after my first turn. We forgot to show you which round it is, number 1. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed because out of my 16 strong weapons battery, only 3 dice remained because I'm more than 30 centimeters away. And yeah, but I think I might at least do 1 hit maybe. Okay, let's see. So we've got all of the batteries within the fire arc on 6s. 1 6, so this is the first shield, I think. Then we've got another 3 from the front and the starboard mounted weapon batteries from the second cruiser. 3 on 6s, and no, nothing at all. This is bad. Now we've got 3 from the small ones. 1 6, and now we've got 2 lances. If I roll well, I might inflict a damage of 2. And this is rubbish, of course, but I've inflicted 1 damage point. And let's roll. Maybe it's critical. And I rolled. No, this is the 4 I would have needed. Okay, and I think that's the end of all of our phases. You can't do repair stuff because no critical damage has been created, and we can't remove markers because there's the base of your ship. Okay, we'll be back after Chris' second movement.
So, coming up, Space Marine shooting phase for round number 2. I've brought forward my escorts with the lances, so those 2 Nova frigates, which I successfully gave the order to lock on, as you can see, clearly marked out with the green dice. I also moved around the other half of the fleet, which consists out of the 2 rapid strike vessels and the cruiser that only has a single shield. I brought forward to be the closest of the capital ships the 1 strike cruiser that has the upgraded second shield. He already took damage, which for some reason I moved away. That's my bad. All of the targets that I have chosen for this round is actually Marcus's escort squadron. Those 2 idolators with their lances, I just don't want to deal with them because they will deal damage if they are so close, and they're like a pack of ticks that you just can't get rid of once they bite you, so they need to go. So let's try the strike cruiser's firepower first. We have 1 die for the weapons batteries onto the closest of the 2 idolators.
Only need a 5, nearly.
That's not. The black die is going to mark the bombardment cannon onto the closest idolator. That one scores a hit and takes away the shield.
Yeah.
So the first one gets hit by the bombardment cannon. Now over to my 2 Nova class frigates. They have a firepower of 3 dice for the weapons batteries, which are also going to target the closest of the 2 idolators.
Suddenly I forgot my rerolls for lock on last time. Yeah.
So
and you may reroll, because you've given the order.
Not that it's gonna matter, but the 6 is going to hit. It already lost its shield.
So this one is gone.
So this one is going to get blown up by the firepower of the batteries. It gets replaced by another blast marker.
Now I've got 2 lances left.
And now we have the 2 lances.
And
he automatically becomes the closest target, so I don't need to roll for that. So that's 1 6, which will take away the shield.
And you may reroll.
And I have a reroll for that other die because the lock-on special order that I successfully have given them. And that is a hit, so that also gets blown into pieces. That was a successful round.
And one thing I forgot, I used my single reroll in my first turn because the first attempt to give orders resulted in rolling a 5 and a 6 with this one. So I used up my single reroll in order to give it a lock on, which I forgot later on. But I won't forget it any longer. Okay, and now it's time for your ordnance, I think.
The ordnance phase. I have 2 squadrons of Thunderhawk gunships that are in space that I can or I may move. And I'm going to readjust their position just a little bit. They can fly up to 20. So I'm going to bring this squadron a little bit further forward, since you're going to get closer to me anyways. So I have them here in a position that might be of advantage later in the game. And those also fly forward just a little bit and reposition themselves over here. And that is it for my phase.
So we are back after my second movement. Doesn't look well. I've got only 4 dice into this one. On 6s. I've got 2 6s and these are the 2 shields.
That's the cruiser that has the 2 shields.
So
what a worth of 15 points. Very well invested here.
And now we've got 8 dice on 5s into a squadron, but Chris chose to order brace for impact.
Yep.
So in case I've got any hits, he can negate them on a roll of 4+. I think it's a 50-50 chance. Okay, so let's see. Come on, 5s. And no.
Wait.
Only 4 of them.
So
no, only 3 of them.
The first one would be the shield.
Then
you have lock on, so re-roll your dice. You miss it.
thanks for reminding me. We need 5s. Come on. Now we've got another. No, now we've got. I think I took away one.
Yeah.
Now we've got 6.
So one of them is away because of the shield. Now the next die would hit the ship. 4+ brace for impact. It's a 3, so this
It's
one
gone.
dies.
And then
4.
we've got 4 dice left.
So the next die is going to take away the shield.
You can remove it, and now you can roll.
And now
3
there's
times, and
3
if you've
hits.
got 3
So
fours.
3 dice with a 4+. Emperor be praised.
No, nearly.
Not enough praise for the
But
Emperor.
1 6 at least.
So at least they were hanging on to something on the ship's bridge before getting blown to smithereens. Goodbye.
So that's the end of my turn. We only have to remove some of these markers. Let's see, 3 markers. And I think these come in quite handy. They provide some form of cover. It's difficult. Maybe 1, 2. And he'll be there. And he'll be... No, okay. Come on.
Yeah, would have been my choice too.
And that's the end of my second turn.
So, coming up, Space Marine shooting phase in round 3. We have chosen our targets. The strike cruiser over here is attempting to target this heavy, or not heavy, but this chaos cruiser. I'm very close to it, so as you can see by the amount of die that I've laid out, there's quite some firepower coming in. However, if that is going to be successful, we will see. We need 5s for the weapon batteries. Let's see. So that takes away a single shield. Not as eventful as I was hoping.
Now you've got 3 lenses.
And then we have the bombardment cannons. Those are hitting on 4s. Oh, that was good. So that takes away yet another shield.
And it's 1 hit, and you can roll if it's a critical hit.
So this one takes away 1 of the hit points, so you're down to 7.
Okay.
And then let's see if this might turn out to be a critical hit. For the bombardment cannons, it would cause a critical hit on 4+ already. Nope, it does not become a critical hit. But it took away the first of the hit points of that Chaos Cruiser, so we start chipping away the paint. Over here, I'm trying to hit the Chaos Cruiser with my Strike Cruiser first. It's because they're both flying a beam to each other, not that much firepower. So a single die for the weapons battery on 5s. That actually takes away the shield. That was good. And then a single bombardment cannon shot, also hitting on 4s. That takes away the second shield.
Yeah.
So far everything is working according to plan. Haha. And now we have the rapid strike vessels over here. They will actually lose 1 die because of a column shift, since I'm shooting through blast markers. So 5+ for their small little batteries. Oh. Yep, that was a hit. So that takes away a hit point.
And then you've got your lens left.
Let's see if this one becomes critical. No, it does not. And then we got 2 shots from the lances.
Okay.
On 4+. 1 of them.
It's
So that-
down, and you can roll another 6.
Let's see if this one becomes critical. It might. Let's see. Nope, it does not. So that was quite eventful and
you've
way
got
more
the
successful than
ordnance
I
phase.
ever expected.
Yeah.
Now in the ordnance phase, we already did the measurements, so we know that the Thunderhawks can make contact with the cruiser. So I'm trying to attempt my hit and run attacks. Thunderhawks flying over here.
But you have to roll because they might explode or
That's
something.
true.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can move
Evade.
out the way of all the
Yeah.
explosion and debris. One of them dies. And now you have your turrets to defend against my attack.
What do I have to roll?
A 4+. And how many turrets do you have? I think it's
I
2.
think 2.
Yeah. So this is your flak fire.
Come on, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
4 and 5.
You killed them.
But you've got 2 left. Small ones over there.
So
Yeah.
over here it's the same thing.
Okay.
They fly over here.
You have to
In
do
order
that.
to make contact, they need to fly through the debris. It probably would have been smarter to wait another round, but if they make it through the marker, they do both, and now you have your turrets.
Okay. So let's see.
No, this time I survived.
Both of them survive.
So, there's 2 die. The 2 dices, whatever result it is, gets +1 for being Space Marines. Let's see what the damage results are. So the 4 becomes actually a 5, and the 3 becomes a 4. Let's see what the damage is. 4 and the 5 on the damage table.
So 9.
No, not together.
Okay.
It's single damages.
So 4 is port armament damage. Ship's port armament may not fire until it is repaired. And 5 is prow armament damage. Ship's prow armament may not fire until it is repaired.
Okay. So port and prow weapon batteries have been damaged.
Yeah.
Okay. No extra damage for that. And the 2 Thunderhawks return to their ship in order to rearm, refuel, and have a small celebration for the Space Marines. And that's it for my 3rd round of shooting.
And we are back after my 3rd movement phase. As you can see, I succeeded in giving orders with both ships, but I was unlucky. So this one has only got 10 from the starboard mounted batteries left, and these, out of these only 2 dice remain on 5s. Let's see if I'm lucky. No, none of them.
Reroll, you have lock on.
Oh, double ones.
Okay.
So epic fail, but at least I've got 14 dice out of 16 on him left. He also chose to give an order.
Incoming!
And now we need 6s. I hope for 6 of them. So let's see. Oh, not a single one of them. This was bad.
Yeah, and you may reroll the entire pool.
All of them.
Yeah.
14 dice, come on.
Come on, Chaos Scum.
Should
Is
have
that all you got?
2 and somewhat. Okay, now we've got 2, but these are only your
Yes.
shields.
It's my shield and my upgraded 2nd shield.
Yeah, this was bad, but I can't help. At least I've got another turn to try to repair my damage on this one.
Yep.
But
And,
first we have to...
I mean, put it that way. You
4.
forced me to brace for impact, so at least there won't be any new Thunderhawks next round.
1, 2, let's remove... we will go over there, I leave them, I remove them. And I've got 7 repair teams left. Come on. We have all the 6s gone. Oh. Come on, I need 2 repairs. Yeah, I've got 1 6, so 1 damage is repaired.
You may choose between your prow weapons battery or your port weapons.
I'd like to have the prow back. Only 6, the others would have been 10, but it's got a better arc of fire.
Yep, because you can choose the direction.
So, and that's the end of my third turn.
Space Marines, turn 4. Some maneuvering to get into position with the 2 strike cruisers and my remaining escort of rapid strike vessels. The dice have been laid out. As you can see, 2 of my ships, or better said, the escort squadron and 1 of the strike cruisers are still under the influence of their brace for impact. So their firepower is significantly decreased. There's still some die remaining that I may roll. On the very end, the strike cruiser that only has a single shield was able to give the special order to reload ordnance. As you can see, I've decided to immediately launch another wave of Thunderhawks. The targets I have chosen, so I'm not getting interrupted by the blast markers, because I have not that many die to begin with. This strike cruiser is going to fire upon this chaos cruiser. As you can see, it's only a single battery roll and a single roll for the bombardment cannon. So let's see if the batteries are even doing any effect. No, so they didn't. The bombardment cannon also misses. So that was the first strike cruiser. Then we have this strike cruiser, which was cleverly flying behind this chaos cruiser, is going to fire its weapon batteries and its bombardment cannon onto this ship, but because of the brace for impact we had last round, it comes down to being only a single die for the batteries, but they successfully hit. So there's the blast marker coming from this strike cruiser against the chaos ship. And then we have the bombardment cannon on a 4+, which we did miss. Okay, so that leaves us with the 2 Firestorm frigates from the rapid strike vessel escort squadron. It's a single die for their little batteries. They successfully hit and take away the other shield from the chaos cruiser.
And I decided against lock on because I'd like to come to a new heading in my next turn.
It's only 1 shot of the 2 lances, since we are still under the influence from brace for impact. So this one on the 4+, let's see if that hits. It is a 4, so that does take damage. Brings it down to 5 hit points remaining. Since we took away a hit point, we will try to see if this one might become a critical hit. Which it does not. I would have needed a 6. So this is it. For the ordnance phase, I'm going to fly the Thunderhawks into direct contact with the Chaos Cruiser. We already pre-measured this. I can actually make contact without having to fly through a blast marker. So now you have your defensive turrets firing upon them on a 4+, 2 die.
Oh, the next double ones.
They need to definitely work on their ballistical skills. So Space Marines make contact with the hull of the Chaos Cruiser and start a firefight. 2 dice on the damage table. Both of the results will get a +1 for being Space Marines. So it's actually 2 times the same result. A 2 becomes a 3 2 times.
Starboard armament damage. No, that's lucky for you.
Let's see. If a critical hit is rolled that cannot be applied, apply the next highest critical instead. So since I have 2 times the same result, one of them will become a 4.
Well. Yeah.
So we damage the starboard and the port armament.
Yeah.
So basically was welding shut the muzzles of your cannons. I imagine some tech marine flying around in space with a welding kit and doing some shenanigans with your weapons batteries. In the end phase, we will remove some of the blast markers. So we take away 1d6 blast markers. We would need to take away 4, but I think we can... No, we actually can take away 4. There's exactly 4 that we can remove. And you may try to repair your critical damages with your repair teams.
This time I've got only 5 crews left.
Nope.
None of them.
And the other one, they still have all of their port armament damaged. You repaired the prow in the last turn,
5,
so you may try to get the port weapons battery saved. Yes, you did.
Okay.
So you restored the full firepower of your ship.
One is fully functional.
Congratulations. And that is ending my turn 4.
So nothing too spectacular. I got both orders through. Come to new heading on this one and this one. But as I've got only half weapons, it's 1 from the port battery into them on a 5. No, not even a shield down. And 3 from the starboard battery into him on 6s. But I think this won't affect you. And here the port and the starboard weapons are damaged for the moment. So my 4th turn is already over. We can only roll for some debris. 1 to be removed. And then I can, I can try. I've got 5 teams left. I can try to repair some of the damage before being dealt new one. Come on, 6s. Oh yeah, I've got 1 6.
Very good.
So I'll do the port, not the 10 on the starboard side, because the other one has got a better fire angle.
Yep.
Okay, and I think that's the end of my 4th turn.
So, turn 5 for the Space Marine fleet. The 2 strike cruisers formed up in a column and are turning into the back of the Chaos Cruiser that they have chosen as their target. And I also moved my rapid strike vessels forward and then made their 90-degree turn in order to face them close up and personal with both lances and little weapons batteries. And the rapid strike vessels also are going to begin firing. So we laid out the dice. These 2 red dice are for the weapons batteries. They both miss.
I've got 2 lances.
And we got the 2 lances on 4+. One of them scores a hit on the shield.
So it's 1 shield. Now you have first and...
So, since the Space Marine Strike Cruiser is going to fire through the blast marker, that's why I removed 1 of the dice. 2 of the red dice for the weapons batteries from this Strike Cruiser into the Chaos Cruiser. Nothing. And then we got 2 bombardment cannons on 4+. Also nothing. That's really bad. That sucks ass. And then we got the other Strike Cruiser over here. 1 die for the weapons batteries. Nothing. And the bombardment cannon scores a hit, but that will also only score a hit against the shield.
But you've got your small ones left in the ordnance phase.
So, now the Space Marines ordnance phase, I'm going to move those dice a little back further. So these 2 Thunderhawk squadrons are going to attack from this direction. And we pre-measured this, so we know those 2 can fly around the blast marker to make contact over here. And you got a total of 2 turrets, so you can remove up to 2 of the Thunderhawk markers. Yep, you actually do. So let's say, out of each squadron, take away 1 of the Thunderhawks. Oh, by the way, for you guys, since you don't know, I rolled a double 1 in the reload ordnance special order for 1 of my 2 strike cruisers. So the front,
the damaged one,
damaged one is actually out of Thunderhawks for the rest of the game. So we have 2 Thunderhawk markers in contact. So that's another 2 hit and run attacks. This one becomes a
6
6,
and 4.
and this one becomes a 4.
4 is port armament damaged,
Again.
and as it's already done...
No, you repaired it.
Okay.
And now it's damaged again.
Okay.
And what is the 6? The 6 is the engine room.
Engine room damaged.
And it also does take an
1 extra damage.
And since we have learned...
If I don't manage to repair it right now.
Yeah, but the extra hit point, as we were explained by one of the community members that commented underneath the last video, extra damage that is taken by hit and run attacks or by rolls on the critical hit table immediately take effect.
Okay, so it's down to 4. Down to now my ship is crippled.
4 hit points. Okay, so the 2 Thunderhawk markers are getting removed after they have done their hit and run attacks. And now in the end phase we remove blast markers. There's actually only one we can remove because everything else is in ship contact.
Yeah.
And now you have your attempts to repair damage aboard your ships.
So port is damaged, starboard is damaged, and now the engine room. Engine, and I've only got 4 repair crews left. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Now that you're down to half of your hit points, does that also mean that your repair crews are getting halved? We don't know.
We'll have to reread it.
Okay, if this is wrong, please comment under the video, but we will roll with 4 repair crews for now.
Not a single one.
Okay, not that it would have made any difference.
So, I've already taken 1 extra damage, and the result is ship may not make any turns until damage is repaired.
Okay. Oh, that kind of sucks from the position you're currently in for the heading your ship has, I mean.
This one is gone. Okay, and that's the end of your turn.
That concludes turn 5 for the Space Marines.
Okay, we're back after the movement phase of my 5th turn, and this ship can't do much because port is damaged. I think starboard is damaged as well as the bridge. No, the engine room, and therefore it can't turn, because I think we just turned. Technically it should be like this, because it's unrepaired damage. So the only thing we can do is use the 16 dice on the escort's beam, and out of these 16 dice only 3 remain. But at least I've got lock on. Okay, onto them. Oh, it's on 5s. 1, 2. 2 hits, and I'll re-roll this one. So maybe the first is gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
I should have announced to brace for impact, but now that I know the results, it's kind of stupid to say that I would have braced.
Okay, and I think we can't do much except for...
Did you score 3 hits or 2?
2 hits.
2.
4. Then we can remove all of them, and I can try to repair some damage.
Yep. This
is undamaged, but lost 1 out of its 8 wounds. This is down to 4 wounds, but has got 3 problems.
Yep.
Okay, let's see if we get any 6s. Yeah, 1 6. Okay. Then I'd try. I'd like to do. Yeah, let's do the engine.
Yeah,
because
makes sense.
Otherwise, I can only shoot in directions.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Without enemy. Okay, that's the end of my 5th turn.
So, Space Marine turn 6. The movement once more concluded in the Space Marine fleet tightening the noose around the 2 Chaos ships, basically flying loopings around them. Yeah, the Rapid Strike vessel has closed for firing its lance and its batteries into the back of the fleeing Chaos ship. And the 2 strike cruisers are barely in range. It's just a little under 30 centimeters, so they can still fire, but obviously on that distance is not that many dice, especially on the target moving away from them. But let's see what we can do. So let's begin with the Firestone frigate. Its batteries firing, scoring a hit on the shield. which is the only shield you have, because we remember...
Halved.
Yeah. Half of your starting damage means you only have one turret and one shield left. So next up the lances on 4+. That will go through and cause damage.
I'll try my 4+ brace for impact. No.
So you're down to 3 hit points. Does the lance cause critical damage? It does not. Next up we have the further away of the 2 strike cruisers firing. That is nothing. And then the bombardment.
2 hits.
2 hits.
And I hope for 1 at least.
One of them goes away.
1 damage and a critical on 4+, I think. No, he might be down.
It's not a critical.
Yeah.
And then the last strike cruiser firing the batteries. They do not hit. And the bombardment cannons. 1 does hit. You can try to save it.
No.
No.
So I'm down to 1. And you've on a 4+, you'll do critical. No.
No, I do not.
Ooh.
And then we have the 2 Thunderhawk markers, which I will only move forward into, let's say about here, the middle of the 2 Chaos Cruisers. And the only blast marker that is in the game cannot be removed, as it has direct contact with a ship. That leaves us with your attempt, with your repair crew, to repair the damage to your weapon systems.
No.
No.
Okay, already demoralized.
And that concludes turn 6 for the Space Marines.
Okay. Nothing much I could do. This one, which is down to a single wound or to a single left hit location.
Oh, the firepower is half.
Yeah. So it's only probably 3 or 2. Yeah. Tries to hit the frigate, and I was torn between using my firepower of prow and starboard on this ship or this ship. First I thought about hitting this, but Chris allowed me to redirect my fire. And so I thought, well, this is at least a head and not a beam like this one. So we've got all these other dice from the 2nd cruiser left.
Yep, the crew is going to brace for impact like there's no tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling like actually there will be no tomorrow.
They might take a smaller beating. Okay, on 5s.
Yeah.
2 of them.
So number 1 is definitely the shield, first and foremost. And now, let's see.
On a 4+, it's...
Yes, I survive.
You've survived. And now we've got all these dice on 5s. And let's remove some of them because I'm not sure if all of these shots
it
pass.
Was 8 and it becomes 6.
8. So
it becomes 6 because of the plasma.
And the prow. Because I had 8.
It's only the column. It's only the column shift because of the plus
Okay.
marker. So 8 becomes 6.
And I had 1, 2, 3. How many did I have in total? I had 11 in total.
Oh, you had 11 in total.
Mm-hmm.
8.
Okay.
That's 8 dice.
So now let's see if I got some 5s or 6s. Yeah, and you might have survived.
Come on.
I've only rolled a single one.
I want to
rolled
live.
a 4+. Yeah.
And I will.
And you did it. The wonder, the great wonder.
Emperor be praised.
Oh. But at least you can't turn with the small one next time. Because... okay, and I think that's the end. I can't do anything else. We have to remove this one because the least I'll roll is a 1. The other one must
try
be
to repair.
On or roll off. No, not enough, but close.
No.
And that's the end of my 6th turn.
All right, turn 7 for the Space Marines. We're closing in for the killing blow against the heavily damaged Chaos Cruiser right in front of us.
I think the stricken vessel will be...
The Rapid Strike vessel wants to take revenge for its cousin being blown into pieces a round earlier.
And I failed.
So...
Brace for impact order.
We got a single weapons battery they can fire, which does not hit. We have a lance, which scores a hit.
One shield.
But that takes only down the
My
first
only
and only
shield.
shield.
Yeah.
Now we have the strike cruiser firing its weapon batteries. Does hit.
Yeah. And technically, I think
technically that's dead, because that takes away the last of the remaining hit points, which means we have to roll on a catastrophic damage table. 2d6s. We have a score of 7.
Blazing Hulk.
Yes, you're going to move 4d6s forward in each of the subsequent movement phases, and you're going to lose some sort of debris after you for a couple of rounds until you probably finally leave the table.
Okay.
So that means the rest of the firepower I had targeted at the ship is wasted.
Yeah.
This is not going to do anything anymore.
Might it result in more rolls on the catastrophic damage table? Because technically all of them fire at the same time. They don't know that it hasn't been destroyed yet, so all of them take their full effect on it.
We can see. But yeah, well, okay. Let's see if they would have done anything. No.
Yeah.
This one would have needed a 4, this one would have needed a 5, so the result stays the same. Other than that, I still have my Thunderhawks that I can move around in the ordnance phase, which I will do. So those are going to make a 20 centimeter move all the way over here, as far as I can get, to get them in a position where I might be able to intercept you for wherever you're heading to. And we remove the 1 blast marker we can remove. I cannot roll less than a 1. And that is the end of Space Marine turn 7.
As you can see, this ship will have to go 4d6. Stricken vessel, so it's 14.
It's going to leave a blast marker in its trail.
And this one moved. It failed to... I failed to come to a new heading. So all I can do is try to use all of my 16, which are now reduced to 3 dice from starboard and prow onto the escort. So I need 2 times 5 or 6, and then it should be gone. 6 and 4, no, that's not enough, just a shield.
Just the shield.
And this was, we can remove this one, we can't remove the others, can't repair anything. So we'll be back with your 8th and final turn.
Yep. So, Space Marines, last turn. Not really much I can do. Marcus's Chaos Cruiser has decided to move away to use the advantage of its long-range firepower in comparison to the very short-ranged firepower those Space Marine ships have. The only thing that can get a shot on target is the Rapid Strike vessel, because it's the only one that is in range. With the capital ship that I'm firing upon that is moving away from me, it's down to a single die for the weapons battery and a single die for the lance. And it will take down the 2 shields that the ship has, but that is it. It's not really doing anything. We already pre-measured for the ordnance, so those Thunderhawks can fly up to the target, but they will fall short by a few centimeters to make direct contact. However, the other wave can make its way around the blast marker and try to hit and run attack the ship. The defensive
plus.
turrets will
One.
take down one Thunderhawk marker. And then we are left with the last die for the game for the Space Marines to roll, which is what the damage will be from the Space Marines on board. And they cost a 2, which is your dorsal armament that you don't have, because your ship's class does not have one. So it becomes starboard armament damaged instead.
This would be bad because I really need this one in my final turn.
And then we remove the only blast marker we can remove, because I cannot roll lower than a 1.
And I'll use all of my 7 repair crews to get these batteries back.
And
no, none of them.
Nope.
All
Not even the
failed.
hardened ceramite boot of a mighty Chaos Space Marine kicking the butts of those ship's crews.
Unfortunate slaves.
Difference.
Okay, we are back with my final turn. Unfortunately, as you can see, am no longer able to fight the enemy's ships because my prow cannon has got 6 dice, but if I shoot them a beam, it would only be 1 die remaining in case of shooting him, or if I pass a leadership test 2, but he's got 2 shields, so nothing I can do.
This one only has 1 shield.
Okay, we can try it, but chances are slim, extremely slim. Will you brace for impact?
No.
Okay. If I roll 2 6s, yeah, I roll double 6s. 1 shield, 1 hit, and then I might do 1 critical damage. If I roll, another 6. So, both of your ships are down to 5 out of 6. No points, and will be back with victory points. In a short conclusion, so we are back with the result, and it's a victory for Chris. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You've won 14 by 5 points. I think I had kind of more experience with the forces of chaos, but still lack the maneuverability. I hope that maybe in some of the next games, maybe with more points, I get more escorts to kind of protect my battleships. I'm not sure how they will perform against the Elder, because the Elder can move as they wish to move, and they've got lots of lances. Even 3 escorts can have up to 9 lance shots, so they really might be trailing the large chaos ships in other battles later on, but let's see.
Yeah, for the Space Marines, this time without the torpedo boats that I used in our last game. I think the smaller ships with the lances are really good. I've never played with my rapid strike vessels. Those were amongst the first models I purchased back in the day. Later found out that they are significantly weaker than their Space Marine counterparts. But I wanted to mix up the fleets a little bit and don't want to play with the same ships every single game. So to my surprise, one of the rapid strike vessels, the Firestorm frigate you can see in the picture, really survived the game, to my surprise. That was that one round of really lucky dice rolls with the brace for impact. I think I saved like 2 or was it even 3 hits against the squadron. So yeah, that was lucky.
And to be honest, I think there's a promotion inbound.
Yeah,
from lieutenant to captain.
For the strike cruisers, in our first game I paid the additional points to upgrade both of them to carry a second shield generator. Now in this game that I had one of the 2 strike cruisers only carrying 1 screen, 1 shield, did not really make such a significant difference. Now I'm wondering if I'm going to try both of them running with the base shield that they carry for just 145 points. because it would give me a few more points to play around with and maybe even increase one of the escort squadrons by another ship. But if I'm able to do that or not, we will need to see once we have rolled who is going to be the attacker and defender in the next scenario we are going to play, because there will be a difference in point costs for the two fleets for the next scenario. So yeah, that remains to be seen what surprise I will come up with. Okay,
I'm looking forward to playing the next one, scenario 2, and please feel free to leave some comments and feedback if you played stuff wrong. It's only the next one will only be my third game, if I'm right. So be kind.
So until we meet again.
Thanks for watching. Bye.